Welcome to Inside the Upside Down. Apparently, I was trying to give you guys the long intro, which I usually use as the outro for the music. Oh, well. Okay, so here we are. Inside the Upside Down, talking about Paranormal Unity, really inspired by our ParaCon this past weekend, which was an absolutely amazing, fantastic event. Many of you here right now in the chat watching this were able to attend. Those of you that weren't, we really missed you. Well, we thought of you. I even lit a candle for those that weren't able to make it.
You really did.
I did. So, first things first, before we get into our topic about Paranormal Unity, Bonnie Halperin. She's not doing so well right now in the hospital. She did an amazing job of setting up all the food. You know, it's something that she said that she wanted to help out with, and just leading up to the event, she's like, oh yeah, I'm putting this together, putting that together, and so much. And she and her husband Dwight just busted their butts in preparing all of it, getting the food down there, working the little kitchen that's there, and it was a small kitchen too. But they did a fantastic job, and you know, Bonnie just has such a amazing heart, and she was so excited to be there and get everything done and really contribute. And so yeah, and
the woman makes amazing meatballs.
Yeah, all the food was fantastic. So yeah, whatever prayers, positive energy, juju, whatever you know you can send her, that would be fantastic. So
please.
Yep. So, Paranormal Unity. So I wanted to talk about this topic coming off of the ParaCon, because you know, Vanessa, I see so many of these posts and thread and all this crap posted on Facebook all the time. I think it was probably a little bit more prevalent on Facebook back in the day, but I still see it out there all the time, even on Twitter and wherever, social media, about paranormal unity, para-unity. We all need to come together. You know, we all need to agree. We all need to do this and da 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 da. And then you see all of this drama that follows all of that. And with our event this weekend, there was literally like no drama, like whatsoever. You know,
there wasn't.
You know, it was just this real coming together of all these fantastic people that just absolutely love each other. And I mean, I keep saying it, I was like a kid in the candy store having a blast, and it was, you know, just all these people that I love coming together in one place, and we just had an amazing time.
Well, and that was the beauty of it, is that if you were gonna have drama, if you were gonna have any type of egos, it was gonna be in a room full of people who primarily are all in the same, not just field, but genre of the field, which is authors. We're all there trying to sell books, you know, amongst other things. And there was none of that.
No.
You know, I mean, because some people are like, oh, you know, you read one book about, you know, ghost experiences, you've read them all. This was a room full of people writing about this very topic, the same topic. And yet not only were we telling people to check out other people's wares and their books and stuff, but we were checking out each other's.
Oh yeah.
And supporting each other. And that's a big deal. I don't think people realize how important that is, and what that showed to this community, is that it's possible.
Yeah, there's
not be a dick.
There's Eva Gellert down there saying we had so much fun, so glad we finally got to meet everybody. And I'm saying Eva, not Ava. She let me know that the other day too.
She is a doll.
She is
an absolute doll. I love her to death. But it's absolutely true, you know. And authors by nature can be snarky. You know, we can be a little full of ourselves.
I suppose.
There was none of that. There was none of that.
Yeah, and I walked around quite a bit. You know, I was really all over the place, but you know, when I did the little, you know, live feed, which it seems like a lot of people got a chance to watch, and you know, I was happy, you know, going from table to table, seeing that people were selling, you know, quite a bit. Another thing that made me real happy was anytime that I looked in on the speakers, like the place was full. You guys were talking to, I mean, like even you, first person up on the day, 10 a.m., and usually these events take a little while to get going, and you had a full house.
I sure did. I was scared too. I was nervous. I was so happy that Katie was there with me, and she did a wonderful job, you know. And we just, nothing was scripted. We just kind of went from the hip, you know.
There's Tom McNicholas with a $10 super chat saying, "Had a blast and more."
Oh, thank you, Tom. Yeah, I mean, we just kind of went from the hip, and you know, she deferred to me, and I deferred to her, and that's what you need to have. I mean, sure, like you said, we want everyone to get along. We want everyone to agree. We need to realize we don't have to agree to get along.
We don't. And that's something that when Shauna and I went live on Facebook on Sunday night after the event, that's exactly something that I brought up there, was that, you know, we all have our little bit of differences. And people want to fight over, well, we need to have, you know, a standard, and we all need to agree. But, you know, somehow we have to have this paranormal unity. And it's like, you know what? You know, there's the Tillery boys. They use devices that I don't use, that I just don't like to. You know, there's things, I love Rob Guttrow to death. He's there. And there's different philosophical things that he and I disagree on. And it doesn't hurt our relationship whatsoever. You know, we know we have those differences, but we love each other, and we have a great time when we're together. And,
absolutely. Well, and that's what it should be about. And it, again, and I've said this a million times, and I'll say it a million more, it isn't about us.
No.
It's about what we're doing. It's about those that we're trying to help. It's about what we're learning and what we can teach. It's not about egos. And that was the one thing I didn't see any of this weekend. If it was there, it wasn't shown to me. There was no egos.
Yeah. The Haglin is saying, you guys are salt of the earth kind of people, hence you attract the same. Yep. And
we sure try.
We try. And, you know, I agree. I lost my train of thought for a second when I had to read the Haglin's comment. But, yeah, it's one of those, kind of the prevailing thought throughout the weekend that a number of people said, and I think we each repeated it, was that, you know, we're all in this together. You know, we're all in this together. It's not just, it's about us. You know, it's about, here, we're going to throw up a couple picks here. So, you know, here's the Haunted Road Media authors at dinner, you know, with family as well. And then here we are at the, I'll close that one out. And then here we are actually at the event all together. And, you know, we all have different backgrounds. We're all coming from different places. We all each, you know, have some different viewpoints. But, you know, and Lee said it really well. It was the Wednesday before the event when we were out. He came through Ohio, and you guys all saw him last Tuesday here on Haunted Road Media, Rabbit Hole and Inside the Upside Down. And he said, you know, with Haunted Road Media, I feel like I'm a part of something, you know, and what we're doing is all together, that we're a family. And that's really the way that when I put all of this together, and Vanessa, you've been there since the very beginning. You could really almost be called a co-founder. And that was kind of the idea. We have our own little author Facebook, you know, secret group that's called the Haunted Road Media Family Group. And that's kind of the idea that, you know, it's not just about, okay, we're going to put a bunch of videos up on YouTube and, you know, we're going to print your book and call it a day. You know, it's about being in this together, about helping each other out, and, you know, while in community. And even if that doesn't happen like every single second of every single day, you know, we're still doing it as much as we can, because we're all busy, you know. But
yeah, we are. But it's the thing is, we have people that come to us, you know, that have their experiences, and, you know, people are shocked when I tell them that I have other people that want to write books come to me and ask me how to do it or what to do, and I tell them, and they're like, well, won't that be taking business away from you? I'm like, no, because their experiences are different, and people need to hear these. Yeah. It's not about taking a sale away from me. It's about giving validity and exposure to their experience that might help somebody else. Doesn't have dick to do with me.
Yeah. Well, and a couple of things that have come up, like Coyote Chris, he was asking me because there's like 3 or 4 of us all with the same encounters book sitting on the table, because we all bring that one to our events because we've all submitted stories and all that. And he was asking about or is it gonna be a conflict of interest between all the different authors? And it's like, if you sell it, I'm happy. If Michelle sells it, I'm happy. It's whatever. It doesn't, again, we're all in there together.
Every last one of them, and I don't care who sells it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's irrelevant to me. I mean, even, excuse me, up here at St. Joe's, when I did that event in April, Greg Faketic, who runs Tri-C, he has a number of those books that he's selling because he has a story in that book. And he even asked me, he's like, do you want me to take the book off the table? Because he sells it at $10. He sells every book that he's involved with at $10, no matter what he actually pays for the book himself. He wants books at $10. And he's like, because the actual retail price is $14.99 on that. And so he was like, do you want me to take it off the table? Because I'm only selling mine for $10. I'm like, I don't care, Greg. Sell yours for $10. Keep it on the table. If it sells, it sells. I'm happy, because people are getting the information in their hand.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And even when it comes to, like the jewelry I make and stuff like that, there are people that are involved in other teams, like Kara Shopline. I think I'm saying her name right. She's on the West Coast. I promote her stuff. I promote Gwen's stuff. If people tag me in something, I share the hell out of it, giving half a chance, because it's like you've said, it's about forming that family and that community. Yeah. Whether it's just with Haunted Road Media or whether it's everywhere. I'm hoping that what we have as a group bleeds into other groups and other situations, and we can finally maybe find some common ground with everybody. I don't know if it'll happen, but it's happened in our corner of the world.
It has. And people, when I first went to publish Amelia's book that she has with us, Maryland Ghosts, people ask me, well, wait a second, you have your own Maryland book, Ghosts of Maryland. Why are you publishing somebody else's book on Maryland Ghosts? Isn't that going to take things away from you? And it's like, no. I mean, there's a bunch of books out there, on Maryland Ghosts. Regardless of the title, there's a bunch of them, and she had a different take on it. Most of hers were, personal experiences. They weren't all ghosts. Some of them were, supernatural. Some were cryptids. So it was like a little bit of everything. So it's like it's a different book. There might be a couple of the stories that are a little bit the same, or she might tell the history of a location that I covered in mine. But it's a different take. And so, I was just happy and honored that she came to me and asked if I could publish her book. It was a second printing because her other publisher bottomed out, and so she was looking to get it back in print. I was like, yeah, I'd be absolutely happy to do that for you. And and she's a fantastic person, and I'm happy to see her do well. She's a she's a very intelligent woman, has had a lot of experiences, very charismatic, so she's just nice. So
she's beautiful too. She's beautiful. I was like, damn, girl. Tall, looks, intelligent. I'm jelly. I'm so jelly, But I mean, it's just, it was a beautiful thing to see, And I mean, the same thing can be said for any one of us. I mean, people might be like, well, why are you writing a book about Ireland? Because I'm sure there's plenty out there. Well, it's not mine.
Yep.
And we all have different voices, and even though it's the same market, somebody might like your writing style better than mine, or mine better than Michelle's, or Michelle's better than Chris's. Who knows? But it's getting that information out there. But the biggest thing was being able to go and spend time in a room that was packed beyond what I thought it would be. Same with investigation, and have there be no tension.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know if anyone else has ever experienced that at a ParaCon.
I've had ParaCons that I've been to in which right in front of I'm not going to throw names out there, but right in front of my table, fisticuffs almost went down. It had nothing to do with me. I'm just an innocent bystander just watching this go down. And it's like, wow, okay. You know, so...
Why?
If I said why, people would figure it out. I'm not going to give names.
Okay,
So.
gotcha.
But yeah,
but
that was...
It was irrelevant, though, right? It wasn't a good reason?
I don't know what... It may have been a decent reason from one person's point of view, and some people back him up, and some people back the other. You know, it's just all that crap, the back and forth.
But not in public at an event.
Not in public at an event, you know, because I know people that left that event directly after because they, you know, they put up with zero drama, and they were like, oh, this is that kind of event where that type of stuff goes down. These type of people are here. I don't want to be a part of that. I'm leaving. And so, yeah.
That's just ridiculous. Well, what surprised me the most, and I didn't expect to see this either, because this isn't just about ParaUnity. It's a recap of the event, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wanted to start with the ParaUnity aspect of it, because just we gelled so well, and it's like, you know, it can happen. It is actually possible to have, you know, that type of camaraderie and unity. And even though, I mean, to be honest, I've laughed at the idea of ParaUnity in the past. It's like, okay, that's an ideal. You're never going to get everybody to all like each other and all agree on the same thing, even though everybody's like, we all need to agree on everything and get along. And it's like, ugh, it's the ideal. Well, you can't make everybody agree on everything and everybody get along at all times. But this was like, so close to that. I was like, wow, okay. So if there is an example of it, this was kind of it.
This was it. I think the biggest reason that it worked so well was because that all of us that are there don't think, we know without a doubt that another person's success doesn't mean that we failed. And that's the biggest problem that I have seen. That's what people don't understand. I might not say a lot. I might not get involved in a lot of the crap, but I watch everything. Yeah. I see it all. I see everything that's going on. And that is the biggest problem, is that people look at somebody else's success, meaning that they failed. And that isn't the case. If Haunted Road Media succeeds based on one person, the rest of us benefit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we're saying we're all in this together. So it's a, yeah, you look at, like Adam, you got 3 banners all around the place that they were designed by Adam. He took the old logo that we used and he made banners for like everybody out of it. And yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, so you see Haunted Road Media, you look up Haunted Road Media, you see all these great authors. So Adam benefits, Amelia benefits, Katie benefits, you know, everybody benefits.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. You know, it isn't as if only one person shows up or something. And I mean, we could go on and on and on about that, but it's absolutely true. And that's the biggest thing that I kind of wanted to get out there, is that if you succeed, I succeed, because you make it easier for me in this field. If I succeed, Katie succeeds, because it makes it easier for her in this field and doing what we do. And we need to start looking at it that way, not as if, well, all the attention is going to go on this person and no one's going to care what I do. Then maybe you need to be doing a better job.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, let me tell you something that you don't know, Vanessa. Let me tell you something you don't know. Because okay, you know, we're running a YouTube channel here, right? Haunted Road Media YouTube channel. I mean, Haunted Road Media is bigger than just a YouTube channel, but just look at the YouTube channel itself. So I have all these different tools that I'm subscribed to and I look at, and, you know, I try to help with, you know, the descriptions and the tags, but it has all these different metrics and analytics and all this stuff in there. And some of the search terms, you know, that come up on the side are related directly to like, you know, Edge of the Rabbit Hole. Sure, there's like paranormal videos, haunted houses. We had the Making a Murderer videos on here, and those are really popular. So all those are like top search terms. So one of them is Edge of the Rabbit Hole. Another one is Edge of the Rabbit Hole Vanessa. There is not an Edge of the Rabbit Hole Mike. But you know how much I care?
Zero.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's great.
And I see that, and it's like I'm happy for you because people recognize you, you know, for who you are, Vanessa, and that makes me happy.
Well, and I appreciate that because honestly, there wouldn't be an Edge of the Rabbit Hole if it wasn't both of us.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, I mean, there just wouldn't be. And if anybody ever asks me, and I have said this a million times, and I will say it till the day I die, there would not be an author named Vanessa Hogel if it was not for Mike Ricksecker. I would have, and everybody watching needs to know this, I never, ever, ever would have followed my dream of being a published author without this man right here. Ever.
Well, you had something to say, and just we needed to get it out there.
But you believing in me,
absolutely,
and you believing in the rest of us,
always have,
is really what has made this Para-Unity. You're the reason. And I think that's huge.
Well, I mean,
I don't think it would be that way without your direction. Even when you get harried on caffeine, you're calming nature. You know,
I got my caffeine going on right here. I mean, it's, you know, I mean, this is the way I looked at it. This is how, you know, Haunted Road Media really came to be. I mean, it was an idea tossed out there years ago and didn't come to fruition. I mean, like back in 2012, and so over the years, people kept talking to me or asking me, you know, even if it wasn't paranormal related, you know, how do I get published? You know, what's the process? You know, how do I do editing? How do I, you know, find an agent? How do I find a publisher? All that stuff. And so I would give them some advice and throw them to the wolves, you know. And at some point, it just kind of hit me. Well, instead of throwing them to the wolves, you know, because I know who they are and they're good people and all that, and I feel bad they're just like, here, you know, good luck. Why don't I just walk them through the whole process, you know? And the first trial run of that was the First Encounters book. That was the first thing that we published, and you submitted a story to that, and you know, you were one of the people that I approached, like, you got to do something more. Kat Gash was another, and she had all these stories. She wrote wonderfully, and it's like, Kat, you got to write more. You know?
Well, so, I'm going to tell you something you don't know.
Uh-oh.
I had tried back way before I met you to be a writer. I had tried. I had sent out probably 100 query letters. Not paranormal. Y'all, are you ready for this? I was trying to write romance.
Woohoo!
Me! The easiest field to get into when it comes to being an author. And I couldn't hack it. I could not get anybody to look at my stuff. So I had actually tried, Mike. I had actually tried for almost 2 years.
It is a very tough industry. And yeah, it took a while for my first book to get published. It's not like I was instantly like, boom, okay, it's Mike, he's published. I mean, no, I mean, it's, you know, and I went with a small publisher for my first book, Deadly Airs. And, you know, a book that really put it into perspective for me was Stephen King's book on writing. Nothing to do with, you know, his horror writing or anything like that. It was a book specifically on writing. And the first half of the book is a little autobiography they put together, and the second half of the book is like practicals and trying to get published. But he talks about, like, when he was a young writer trying to, you know, get his books published, that he was sending query letter after query letter after query letter, and he had this big spike that he kept in his wall, and anytime he got a no, he would throw that letter up on the spike, and he just, he filled up the spike that he had in the wall. So it's a tough industry to get into. So, having had those experiences, and then finally getting, a couple books published, and people kept asking me, it's like, okay, let's help people, Yeah. It's not just all about me.
Well, and that's what it stems from. It's not just, I think that's what this entire field, what we as people should be, is helping each other. Whether it is, fulfilling a dream, whether it's talking to dead folk, whatever it is, that should be the primary goal. That is where the unity comes in, is putting others on the same level as yourself. And I saw that all weekend. I saw it all weekend, and it was a beautiful thing. And I hope that next year is even bigger. I already know it will be. It'll be crazy next year, and people actually get to be there and witness it for themselves. Yeah,
and Donna Gordon saying that she has that book. Yeah, it's a good one. I definitely recommend it to any aspiring writers. The publishing industry has been changing these past few years, so some of the practicals might be a little outdated, but still, just reading about his experiences can definitely help you as far as motivation, for sure. So one of the things that I wanted to mention that was, to me, this is kind of a personal thing. That first night when we were going out to dinner and we met up at Mineral Springs, and there was Shauna. Shauna and I are walking toward the front, and you're standing there with Rob Guttrow and with Lee Ehrlich. The three of you have never met, and all three of you are best friends of mine from different parts of my life. And it's like, wow, they're all together. It's like, this is just, it was amazing. It was amazing for everybody. You're in Oklahoma, Lee's in Florida, Rob's out in Maryland, I'm in Ohio now, and we'll soon be in Illinois, and here we are all together. All the people that have really meant, there's a lot of people in my life that have meant something to me that weren't able to come, but these are three people right here, and Shauna right by my side, four, have really meant a lot to me over the years, and we're all here. These three are meeting for the first time. I don't know, there's something about that moment that I was just like, wow.
I thought you were going to bring up mine and Shauna's hug.
Oh, and that big hug, yeah. That power hug out of nowhere. That was wild. That was really wild.
My sister from another mister. Never, first time ever meeting her, and it was just like, you just take a big sigh of relief that there's your homegirl right there. Yeah. And it was amazing.
I was happy to see that. I was very happy to see Shauna and Rob really get along, because Rob has seen that shit of mine that went down in Maryland for those few years. Of course, you saw my shit back in Oklahoma, but so Rob and Shauna are actually collaborating on a story together for the upcoming Encounters book.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
He is so lovely.
Oh, he's a great guy. He is
just a lovely soul. He truly is. I got to give some shout outs, though. I have to.
Go for it.
Coyote Chris.
Yes.
And my Chucky.
Chuck Banks, yeah.
I love my fellas. My fellas. And Katie and Josh, and I got to meet Adam for the first time too. He's an amazing fella. Him and his brother, and Mark Foster, got to meet him. And Denise Pridemore and Eva and Bonnie and everybody, all these people. This is what I don't think people understand is you can talk with people on social media. You can really feel like you know them. It is such a different experience when you're in the same room. And it could have went either way. But boy, it sure went the way that we wanted it to. It was just such a feeling of home.
Yeah, and all those people you mentioned, fantastic. Some of them I had never met before. Denise Pridemore. I've known her for years, over the internet, but never in person. All these years, both of us involved with the paranormal. So finally, I got to meet Denise. A newer person that I've connected with here recently, mostly over Twitter. Betty Lange and her husband Wayne. I mean, the sweetest couple. And I ran into them as they're walking in, and they shared with me their story about how they met. So you hear some of the most amazing stories sometimes from people that sure, you had a chance to chat with a little bit over the internet or whatever, but you finally have that face to face, and it's like, oh wow, okay, and then you get to share a lot more. So it's fantastic.
It really is. I'm hoping. I really am. I'm hoping that other people that are involved in, I got something in here, that are involved in the paranormal watch this, and not that we're trying to teach anyone anything, but that they do take something away from it and realize that the very thing that everybody is talking about, the very thing everyone says that they want, is attainable. It is attainable. It is totally doable. We proved it could happen over the span of 2 days, not one incident. And, I think that every single person that was there would agree with that statement.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I missed, what did I miss up here?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, okay, that was Candy's comment about I'm going to be living in a terrible internet area. I know. I hope that doesn't ruin the show. But
that'll suck.
Yeah, that would really suck. But yeah, so it was really an eye opener for me that it is attainable. To a degree, because again, everybody's not going to be able to agree on everything, and you probably will end up with some personalities that conflict. But for this being a first event, and to just go like clockwork, really, it was, and just we really meshed. I mean, I go back and I look at this. I look at this pic, and we're just all smiling together, and that those smiles are not faked for that pic. We were all having a great time. And
every last one of us.
Okay, and there's Adam back there. Okay, he's got the he's
so dapper.
I know, he's got the tie going on, the vest and all that. And there was one time that he's kind of John, our musician, John Shanahan, awesome job with the music.
Was so
oh my god.
Good.
Yeah, he was good. But
he bought 2 pieces from me.
Awesome. He had already left. And Adam's back there by the windows that overlook the river, and he's kind of like back there like this, And I'm like, "What are you doing? You guarding the place or whatever?" And I can't remember exactly what he said, but it dawned on me. He's back there taking it in, just soaking the whole thing in. It's like, yeah, yeah.
Well, and let me give you another example. This really, it shocked me and pleased me at the same time. During the investigation, I was a part of the first group, and when we went up to the upstairs, I was in the group that had Jared Osborne, Eric Klein. There was another woman. I did not get her name. Lovely woman.
Crystal.
Long dress from Paranormal Endeavors. But I was up there with Katie and Josh and Jana and Gray and Chris and everybody, and we came upon that room that I would not go into again. And Eric and that young lady were coming up, and something was said, and I said, I can't go in there. And she asked me why, and I gave a brief description of why. And do you know what she said? Most people would say, oh hell, she don't know what she's talking about, and rush in or whatever. She looked at me and she says, I want to thank you for telling me that. Because of what I told her. She goes, that wouldn't be a good area for me to be in either. I'm going to go ahead and back away.
Yeah.
I was almost floored, because especially in this field where people want to be Billy badasses, that was so honest and refreshing to have someone who's never met me, who doesn't know anything about me, but understood that I was saying that so that she wouldn't get hurt or wouldn't, feel what I felt the day before, and she trusted me.
Fun guys looking for a little clarification as to which room it was.
If you go upstairs, they have, when you're walking down the hallway, Pearl's room is straight down the hallway on the left. This particular room is, you take a right down the other hallway, and it's I think it's 2 rooms before where you can't go any further because they've got that blocked.
Yeah.
It's the room on the left with the 3 chairs in it that faces Broadway. And I have since, after my incident in there the night before, the first night there, I froze. I've posted a picture that Jana caught of it, but I guess she was trying to move my hand. She was tickling my hands or whatever, and I guess I was standing there with my arms out with tears just streaming down my face. And I didn't know why at the time. It was confirmed to me what had happened in that room after, by Dave downstairs, and I have since been getting flashbacks of what I was going through internally when that was happening. Well, and it is not a good room.
No, it's not. We've been in there a number of times, Shauna and I, and we've got a number of different EVPs. One of them said Shauna's name. We've had a chair get scraped across the floor on its own. When we were the last group in that room that night for that investigation, and so we went in the room, and this is toward the end, so our group is kind of really dissipated down. So the one girl that was with us, Brandy, as we were walking into the room, she basically just rattled off, she's doing the whole, I feel this, I feel that, is basically the story of the room. Wow, okay. Because she wasn't there the night before when Dave told us information that we hadn't known before. And I'm not saying anything now about what that is, because I don't think that's public knowledge.
It isn't. He said it wasn't.
Yeah, so I'm not saying what it is. But, so we're in that room, and so it's Brandy, me, Shauna. And Shauna's picking up on some things as well, and so she starts getting a name or the beginnings of a name, and she's like, "Okay, your name begin with the letter M, right?" And so she got the poke in the shoulder, or she felt something on her shoulder, and she was like, "Is it Molly?" All of a sudden, she gets grabbed harder, and she's like, "Is that what it is, Molly?" She gets grabbed really hard, and whatever was going on there had enough energy that I'm jumping up in my chair because I'm feeling like this force come my way. I'm like, whoa, what the hell was that? So it's like she's jumping, I'm jumping. Damn. So yeah, so we're starting looking up Molly.
Yeah, it's not good. The first night when we were there, when it was just the authors, the room or the area that you took us into that had all the antiques and stuff, so I got my hair pulled.
Yeah, hang on. So Donna saying people are asking what's in that room, and Fungi is asking a murder. We can't publicly let people know what exactly that was, not until they give us the okay on that. So sorry.
Yeah. Just know that it was confirmed.
Yeah, Tom McNicholas saying I was there when that happened. Yeah, Tom was up there too. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, the room that you took us into the night before that had all of the antiques in it.
Yeah.
I got my hair pulled. I mean, straight up pulled up like that.
Right. Yeah, there is some stuff that goes down in that building. I mean, it is, as you move from room to room, the energy changes. There's just so much that goes on there.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we were talking the show that we had before the ParaCon, and I was explaining about the area that it had the glass doors that went all the way down, and everything, and how it kind of looked. Okay, that was where the Curiosity Museum is.
Oh, okay. Curiosity Museum. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew I would know it when I saw it.
Uh-huh. And
yeah, that's where it was where the Curiosity Museum is.
Very cool. Okay. Well, I'm glad that got confirmed for you. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really, really, really bizarre. But no, it was was such a good damn time, and I can't wait to do it again. And anyone coming from my direction, it is an easy drive.
Yeah, it's not. It's kind of right in the middle of the Midwest. You know, I mean, honestly, it's exactly halfway between you and I. Where I'm at right now and where you're at in Oklahoma, it's exactly halfway.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's just across the Missouri border.
Yep. Yeah, it's right across from St. Louis.
Yeah, you have the Missouri border, the Mississippi, and there's Alton.
Yep.
You know, a matter of fact, like I said, we were driving over the bridge not knowing where we were going.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked over and I said to Jana and Gray, I said, that's a really interesting little town.
There was so much
Come to find out that's where we were going.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much there because there's a lot of history. And like I told you guys when we were going through like the history of the hotel and all that stuff, that old federal prison was just a couple blocks away, and they used the blocks from that prison. And we're talking like early 1800s. It was a Civil War prison, lasted a little bit longer, and then they tore it down. And the blocks, the stones from that prison were used all throughout the downtown section, including Mineral Springs Hotel.
That's just insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Dawn is saying that she's going to go next year. So
you better.
So,
yeah.
And I saw Dawn. Okay, I saw Dawn and actually some other people, and just watching back through when I did the Facebook Live, and going back to John Shanahan because I kind of like breezed over him real quick because I was trying to make a point at the time. People were digging the music. A lot of you guys were talking about how you absolutely love the music. And yeah, John is really talented. He plays a lot of different genres. So we're definitely going to have him back next year. He's looking forward to coming back next year. So I thought
was very good.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job of just reading the crowd, and he added a whole another vibe to the whole thing.
And you know what? And that could have been part of it.
Could have been.
That really could have been part of it because, you know, music is the thing that brings people together. And there was always just this jam, you know, going on in the background. And he would come down off stage and he would go around and talk to people and converse. Mm-hmm. And like I said, he actually came off stage twice to purchase from me. He came down and had me pick out something for his girlfriend. And then he came down again and bought something for himself.
Well, yeah, and there's some fun pics out there of him letting one of the little ones play with the guitar and stuff like that. I mean, cute stuff like that, too. So he's a good guy.
He's a great guy and amazing singer, really was. But yeah, for anyone...
You can thank Shauna for that. She
did a damn good job.
Yeah, well, she books him for a place near there, Vixen Hill Winery. So you know she's quite familiar with him. I've seen him play before, and so when we started planning all this, I said to Shauna, "So you're gonna book John, right?" So she got him booked for the show or for the event.
That is so awesome. But yeah, for anyone who can't, who wasn't able to make it this time. We will have another one next year. It was such a success we could not have another one. I think people would be pissed if we didn't have another one.
Everybody was asking for one like that. No, you're going to have another one next year, right? Like, yeah, that's the idea.
Oh, yeah. And it's not just to come see us, y'all. You have to understand that place, not just Haunted Road Media, but the location itself.
Yeah.
Is outstanding, and there is something for everybody, not to mention the stores in it. Donna and Dave have its Rainings in there, and you've heard Mike talk about that, you know, at great length, but I'm here to tell you, I'm probably going to start getting all my stones from them. They're
they're that good.
They're that good.
Yep.
They're that good, and it's just beautiful people.
Oh, yeah, and... Yeah, that's more people right there. We could not have done this without. You know, they were such an amazing support, and you know, helping us just coordinate and get things set up and all that. Yeah, we couldn't have pulled it off without Donna and Dave. They're just such great people.
Greg Rankin said that he loves his piece he got from me. He hasn't taken it off since he got it.
Nice.
That makes me feel good.
I know Shauna's been wearing hers. Yep.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I almost sold out. So.
You almost sold out. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm happy to hear that. I know Katie sold quite a few books. Yeah, I mean, it was just, I think it was good for everybody.
She's mailing hers to me. I can't wait to read it. I'm so excited. I'm like a proud mama with that one.
So Robert White's wondering if you could parachute in. Sure.
You've got a year to plan, Robert.
Yeah. And I saw earlier in the chat, earlier in our episode here, that Donna said that she was actually looking at a bus. It was like $9,000. But could you imagine? I mean, that's really, really crazy costly. But could you imagine that, like a whole tour bus coming from out east or even out west somewhere and just picking people up along the way? Like, we're all going to Haunted Road Media ParaCon.
That would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. I don't know if they have enough hotels in Alton to do that.
I don't know. We will work on, what we will do for next year is we'll work with a hotel on a discounted price. So that just kind of, and I've done so many events that I know that a lot of them do that, and I just wasn't even thinking early on, and it just, all of a sudden everybody started telling me, yeah, I'm at the Super 8, I'm at the Super 8, I'm at the Super 8. It's like, I guess I should have called the Super 8 or something and worked out a discount.
Really nice rooms. Really nice rooms. That's where we stayed. Lovely people, and it was reasonable to begin with. So yeah, if we could get a deal, it would be even better.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Donna,
I was hearing that they were sold out. I was hearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they said it was us. We sold them out.
We sold them out.
Yeah. I will say this for Donna. I'm going to go ahead and put this out there right now. Okay, that if Chicago goes as I hope it does, I will help donate to get Donna to Haunted Road Media ParaCon 2019.
Awesome. Let's do it.
So I've publicly stated it. I can't take it back.
Let's make sure we get our other Cheshire Cat out there.
Yes. So that's a done deal.
Yeah, and she just reposted it. She said she was playing with it as an idea but for a chartered bus for 40 people was $9,000 with several different companies. Wow.
That when you separate 9,000 up into 40 people, that's not bad.
It's And Betty and Wayne are saying that they stayed at the Hamptons. Okay, cool. So, and they said that was beautiful. Yeah, I mean, not everybody was at the Super 8. I know Amelia stayed somewhere else too. So, but from what I heard, the Super 8 was sold out because of us. So, and for
it was. They told me that personally.
Well,
when I checked in, they told me that personally.
And Fran Molino says, "Start selling the coffee." Yeah, got the coffee right here.
There you go.
Got a bunch of bags over there. Yeah.
But yeah, if everybody will put some good energy into me making a ton of money in Chicago, I will make sure that Donna gets to the one in 2019.
Got to make it happen.
So that could happen. It's a done. Yeah, I just got to make a lot of money.
Chuck says, "Hey guys, hope you're well. Finally completed my paper." All right, Chuck.
Oh, Chucky.
So, and now people want, now look at this. People want us to do like a whole bus tour, going to Canada, going to the Smoky Mountains. Yeah, we'll just go all around.
Why
not? Patrick and Marley Burns used to do that. Maybe they still do it. I don't know. With the whole Ghost Dock tour, and they would used to travel around in the RV and do that kind of thing. But this, I think the suggestion here is a little bit different, where it's like everybody's loading up on the bus and we're all going together someplace.
That would be fun. Well, you can take a train across the United States, East Coast to West Coast, for like less than $300. You can do that, right? That? I mean, you still have your stops, and you might have to. Did you hear that?
Yeah, somebody down the hall.
Was it?
Yeah. I'm glad I'm moving out of here. Oh boy.
Oh my gosh, Robert says HRM bus with decals of Mike and Vanessa.
No. And Shauna. And Shauna.
Yeah, you got to have me a big red beehive
Mm-hmm.
and it say like "kiss my grits" or "fuck off" or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
Betty's saying just need a name tags, Mike. We missed meeting people. Yeah,
yeah.
and if you do have any suggestions, throw them our way. I mean, it wasn't like perfectly perfect. There were a couple of things like I think we needed to throw up a couple more signs because I did hear that there were a couple of people having a hard time finding their way back into the grand ballroom. So a little more signage
now that
next
we
year.
know that, I can make them for next year.
Yeah, we'll make signs for next year. That's not a big deal.
Yeah, I can get all artsy fartsy on you, and I can make up signs.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's just a couple little things like that, a couple little details that Sean Oldsmith saying sound like a child screaming. No, it wasn't a child. It was a lady. Weird lady.
It was a lady screaming.
The weird lady. There's some weird ones here.
We all got them. We all got them.
We do. So I can blame my ex-wife for this, but okay.
Anyway, we're not gonna go.
We're not gonna go there.
Okay. But yeah, that's a different upside down.
Yeah, that's way upside down.
But one thing though, let me go ahead and state this for the next one, especially if we have it in June. And I know this is early, but if you're coming, if we have it in June and you're coming, please make sure that you've got enough water, that you've got comfortable shoes, and that you come prepared for it to be very, very, very warm. Not even just inside the building, but out. I'm gonna share a little bit of personal information here with y'all real quick. I feel kind of embarrassed, but I'm gonna do it anyway for health reasons. I was there. I got there at Friday about 2 p.m. Didn't leave till Sunday morning at 9 a.m. I peed 3 times.
Wow.
3. Mike, I drank 5 glasses of water at dinner.
Did you sweat all that out?
Yes.
Wow.
But it was weird. It wasn't like, oh, I'm stinky sweaty. It was just evaporating.
Yeah. It was a pretty toasty weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. I was so dehydrated that I could not get enough water. So just, especially if you have any, issues or anything like that, make sure that you take care of yourself with that. Make sure you come with enough to sustain you.
Fungi, yes, there was AC. There's AC in the building, but you got a lot of people in a confined space. I mean, even not necessarily confined space. It's a big room, but still, there's a lot of people running around there. Even though there is AC, it's still an older building, so they did everything to make the building comfortable. Yeah.
They really did.
Yeah, they do as best they can. And then there's another question about campgrounds. Yeah, right up the road. The Pierre Marquette. I think that's the name of the campground, or maybe there's a campground next to there. Leah's stayed there before, so there was a campground right up the road. Yeah, it's well worth it. Not just for ParaCon and everything. I mean, heck, if you can come a day early and stay a day late, and just check out the town, it has a different vibe to it. It has a lot to offer. Bring money, buy out It's Raining Zen, get some good stuff. But just mark your calendars now for the month of June, probably sometime. Yeah, I say don't mess with a good thing. It worked perfect this time. Everybody was able to make out. Gordon is asking about doing it April or May instead of June, and I think, with the number of people that were traveling in that weren't necessarily local, I think with kids being out of school in June, it makes it a lot easier.
It really did. I was able to bring my son.
Yeah.
And had it have been any other time, I wouldn't have been able to do that. And Gray thoroughly enjoyed himself and felt like I
didn't get enough time to talk to him. I kind of said hi to him in passing, and it was like...
He knew you were busy.
Yeah. I wanted to catch up with him a little bit.
Yeah, he knew you were busy, and but he had a great time, and he got to feel like he was a part of it. And
good.
All the people coming up and recognizing him from my Facebook.
Yeah.
He goes, Mom, I feel like a little celebrity. And I'm like, baby, Mama's not even one. But that is so fucking cool that you do, But it's But yeah, it's just it was a real good time. It was a real good time. Gina got to bring Dominic, her little man.
Yep.
You know, who
oh, Donna, it was not 95 degrees in the kitchen. And that's exaggerated a little bit. It was warm, yeah, but it wasn't 95 degrees. And Betty's saying, don't be afraid to bring a camera or phone so much to photograph. That is true. That is true. There is a ton to photograph.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And the lovely thing, and I'm sure people saw this from the pictures and everything, but I don't think they realized what effect it had on the energy. That ballroom, unlike so many other ParaCons or psychic fairs or whatever, had one thing I've never seen another one have: this huge picture window that looks out onto the Mississippi, and the bridge right there, and it was so lovely, and just, you know, kind of lent this nice peaceful quality to the event that I think, again, just like the music, that added something to it as well. It's just,
yeah, it was a nice view.
The whole thing was perfect.
And there was a moment in time, I was just about to say that, and there was a point in time where it actually started storming, so you're looking out over the Mississippi, and you're seeing, you know, the clouds roll in, there's some lightning going on, you're hearing some rumble of the thunder.
Beautiful.
It's like, yeah, that's cool. So for a paranormal event, we even have a storm rolling in.
It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. I loved it. I loved it. Oh, I'm sorry. I yawned. I love y'all, but I just yawned. I'm trying to think, what else can we tell them, Mike?
Oh, I don't know. And there's just so much. I know Shauna and I talked at length for it, about it on Sunday as well, because there was just so much. And I know I was just gushing about it for a while. You know, really, again, for me, it was just having everybody out, you know, at one place at one time, you know, being able to share our experiences with so many people that have been watching us, following us, even if, you know, if it's not Haunted Road Media specific, it was, you know, people that were, you know, friends of Adam's, or friends of other people, or friends of, you know, Amelia's, whoever it was, you know. And just, you know, coming out and all being in one location to all meet each other and just share.
They're asking, Spooky's asking, what was the favorite moment for both of us? You go first.
And yeah, there's Betty saying friendly people sharing. Favorite moment for me. I mean, that's tough. You're asking me to choose. There were a couple. I'm going to have to throw out a couple because there were, yeah. So I already said one where Shauna and I are walking up to you and Rob and Lee. Even walking down the street when we went to Bluff City Grill, and, you know, I'm just saying to Shauna, wow, all my friends are here, you know. So that was a moment. Just seeing Shauna connect with you, seeing Shauna connect with Rob and others, that really meant a lot to me. Adam Tillery, he left a couple of illustrations there for us that meant a lot to Shauna and I, because they were personal ghosts of ours. I was like, Adam, I was gonna buy them, and he ended up leaving them. So it's like, no, I love Adam. He's awesome. But even just, you know, there were a couple times where the couple of girls that were helping out, Lee's daughter Alyssa and her friend McKinley, you know, and they even had a great time, you know.
They worked their butts off.
They did, and they said they loved every minute of it, and I really appreciate their help. But there were a couple of times that I went up there and I relieved them from, you know, from those duties, and I'm just sitting there, you know, overlooking, you know, the crowd and just seeing everybody interact and everybody smiling, and everybody having a good time, and there's John, you know, playing the music, and everybody's kind of, you know, just bebopping a little bit and talking and laughing and just really enjoying themselves. And so just kind of looking over the scene like that was amazing.
You're stealing mine, because that was actually mine.
Really?
That was mine, is because, you know, you talk about doing something, and and you know, you put your 2 cents in on it, and you hope for the best. But when you actually see it, happen, and you look around the room, and literally everybody is smiling.
Yeah.
Everybody. You're just like, wow. Everybody's happy.
Everybody's having a great time. Yeah.
It sounds so simple, but that to see other people experiencing happiness or joy fills my heart. You know, and that's exactly what it was. And then there was the moment of awe when, you know, I'm standing at the far back of the room over by the potties, and I'm looking out, and we're getting ready to do the investigation the second night with everybody else. And I posted a picture of it, this mass of people. And in my head, and I actually said it out loud, I said, he did it. Mike did it.
We did it.
You know? But
we all did it.
But you know what I mean. And it was a proud mama moment. I know I'm close to your age, but I had proud mama moment.
Yeah, it's only like, 2 years difference here.
I know, you know. But it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing to see. It tickled me. Proud mama moment. I get those. I do. Oh, sorry. My eyeball itches. I'm broken, Mike. I'm broken. Who wore the kilt?
That would have been Jarrett.
That was Jarrett.
Yep, Jarrett. He usually does wear his kilt to those events. So yeah, he's a character. We love Jarrett.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got to meet Eric for the first time because we had him on the show. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, Eric's a nice guy.
Real nice guy. Trying to think of. I didn't want to leave anybody out. I
know, and it's always going to happen. There were so many people that were there, and I've tried to name drop as many people as I can.
I know. Well, just like I said on the last show, I'm like, you know, I got my F-bomb mug from Tom.
Right.
It was so awesome. That's another favorite moment.
The F-bomb mug?
Yeah. Well, and not just the F-bomb mug, but we pulled up to the Super 8, and I'm looking like hell warmed over. And I get out of the car to go in and get the room, and guess who walks out? Tom McNicholas. And I knew who he was immediately. Walked up to him and gave him a hug. I'm like, Tom! You know, I mean, the second I got out of the car, you know. And that was one of those cool moments because, you know, it's unexpected. And like I was telling you before the show started, or before the last show started, this was I want everyone to know what they did for me.
Yeah.
This past weekend. You know, you see people on social media, and I'm talking about myself, and you get a certain idea of how they are, you know, and I try to be as honest as I can. I try to, you know, to post the ugly pics and the fat pics and to make fun of myself and the no makeup live feeds and everything. And I try to do that to keep things as real and as humble as I can. And I need y'all to know I was terrified coming and people seeing me in person.
Okay.
Because what if, and I'm not asking for sympathy or anything, but what if I didn't measure up? You have to understand where I'm coming from. You know, what if I didn't measure up?
Measure up to what? By whose standards? You just be yourself.
I hear, and I've heard from other people that have been to other ParaCons where.
And see, that's the negative drama, unparanormal unity bullshit. If somebody's saying that you don't meet their standards, fuck them.
Well, no, they weren't saying it about me. They weren't saying it about me. No, I'm just saying if
somebody were to do, because you're saying you're going into this worried about that. Well, if somebody does, fuck them. That's their problem, not yours.
Yeah, because you know you hear people say, "Oh, well, this person looked this way on you know, the internet, and then, you know, they didn't look at all that way in person," and then you hear all the negative things. And I'm a woman,
Vanessa,
and I was worried about that.
You're beautiful. You're beautiful physically, and you're beautiful as a person.
Well, and you know what? I felt that way
Good.
after this
Good.
weekend. I really did, because I actually felt like people saw me. Not a persona, not anything gussied up for social media, but me as a person. And I felt loved.
Good.
And I want to thank everybody who was there for that, because this has not been an easy journey for me. So it to have that feeling meant the world.
Spooky. Dawn says, Vanessa, next time just think of it as going to a family reunion minus the fucktards. Although sometimes, sometimes depending on your family, you might have some fucktards in the family.
Oh, preach.
Yeah.
Preach. It's a true story. I do. And you know what? Some might think I'm one of them.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had my moments.
That's funny.
That's
and Donna's saying, read the comments, Vanessa, you are so loved. Yeah, there's like the Haglin saying you're gorgeous, and
y'all are sweet.
We love
you. I didn't mean it for it to be that, but I come across as being a fairly self-confident person, and in all honesty, I have reasons in my past that make me not as self-confident as I come across. And so I was very, very nervous. Well, and I was blessed. And I'm grateful.
Well, I'm happy.
That's it, or else I'm going to start crying.
Kathy Celiento says, this was a little bit earlier before we got into all that. It had to stem from the ones who orchestrated the event. You guys have such positive, pure, honest energy. You all speak from the heart, and there's a lot of integrity in the work you all do. Yeah.
We sure try.
We try. We try. And Atlantis Paranormal. Yes, I am using a Shure SM58 microphone. Yep.
I don't even know what that is. I'm guessing it's that thing that's right there.
Yep.
I got to learn some of this lingo.
It's just a model of the microphone, that's all.
But I mean, even with like all this paranormal equipment, half the time when y'all start spouting off names, I have no idea what the hell it is. None, you know? And I'm like, maybe I
well, you know, I think half of them are different variations on the Ghost Box and the different apps. So
True. Ooh, one other thing. For y'all, when if you ever do make it to Alton, even if it is not to do with ParaCon, if you go to Bluff City Grill, get the white chicken chili.
Bluff City Grill has good food. Any of their food is good.
Lord.
Oh my gosh, I'm addicted to their pot stickers.
Well, I want to know what kind of crack the people in Alton are smoking, because they make the best homemade potato chips. Had them from 2 separate places. They are to die for. I would be as big around as a fucking house if I lived in that place.
Shauna and I eat too much down there. It's true. BD Flint with a $10 super chat. She says, great show. Definitely coming to ParaCon next year. Awesome. We would love to see you there. That'd be fantastic.
That's awesome. Yep. Carpool.
There you go.
We can do that.
Tom is saying he had the biggest hamburger there. Yeah, they do have some big burgers. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, their club sandwich, the bomb. Y'all, I straight up fat girled out at Bluff City Grill. Okay, I really did. Me and Jana each got the club. I had chips. She had macaroni, and we shared white chicken chili. We fat girled out.
There you go.
So good.
Yeah, I ate a bit much. I know. It
was so good.
It's good food. There's no doubt about that. No, and what's great about that place is literally like what, a block and a half from Mineral Springs. So you just walk down.
It was just boom right there.
Yeah, right there.
It was awesome. And I don't know. Like I said, I love the location. I'm still telling you though, that ice cream place that looks like a courthouse. Something going on there.
Yeah, that's one of those places down there. There's a number of them too.
Oh my gosh, spooky. Dawn is talking about. Did you see the pictures I took of Uranus Fudge Factory?
I am aware of that billboard. Yeah. I've grabbed that one at some point too. I know that their billboards are funny.
That is hilarious. But on a side note, their raspberry vanilla fudge, orgasmic.
Might have an ectogasm, huh?
Damn near. It was so good, so good. But what are they saying? Someone's talking about a GoFundMe for something.
Well, I think for making the trip out there.
Starting a savings account now for next year's trip. That's candy. Good. Yeah, it really is. And y'all, I mean, the where we stayed at, even without a discount, wasn't too terribly expensive. And it had. Oh, this is important to know for those who are on a little bit more of a budget when you're coming in. The Super 8 has refrigerators and microwaves in their rooms, so you can always bring a cooler and have food if you don't want to eat out. If you need to keep expenses low in that fashion, and it's totally worth it and easy to get around.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
No, not bad at all. It took. Yeah,
and there's other historic places to check out too. That I know people were going and checking out McPike and a lot of different other locations out there. Vanessa, I heard you tried to find Milton.
We did. Because we looked it up. And there was Milton School, which I figured had to be the one you were talking about because y'all said it was close because the other Milton's over an hour away.
Yeah, that's the newer Milton. The Milton that you guys were looking for, because we ran into Gwen on Sunday, and so she told us about that. And it no longer exists. It is now East Alton. But what happened was in the 1840s, there was a cholera epidemic. And so the survivors moved away. And so it was basically like a ghost town for a little while. Eventually, people came back in and they built East Alton. I think it was called Alton Junction for a little while. It's been through a couple different names. But basically, the town doesn't exist. There's the cemetery right there as you're about to go into East Alton. So the cemetery there has the cholera victims there in the cemetery.
Oh, I thought you said there was an abandoned town.
No, it's not abandoned. No. The Milton Schoolhouse up the road is named for it. There is, and Shauna and I have been researching it. There is possibly a surviving house from there that. In some of the different research that we've done, we came across a note that a former state senator, like back in the 1850s, 1860s, whatever it was, lived in a house in Upper Alton that had been moved from the old Milton settlement after the cholera epidemic up to Upper Alton. And so we're trying to track down that house because it may be, if it's still there, it may be the last remaining house from the old Milton settlement.
Okay. If you find it, let me know because I'll want to see it when we come back. Yeah, because we pulled up to that Milton school and it was a business. And I'm like,
yeah, there's a coffee shop in there. There's actually some apartments, but you can't investigate there. Shauna and I investigated there back in December.
Really?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Oh, okay. See. I would have never guessed that stuff was.
Yeah,
in there.
we did a live stream from there. Yep.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, because I'll probably have a little bit extra time. When we come the next time.
Yeah. We'll give you the run through it. So apparently Tim's showing us saying if Mike drops another F-bomb, that's 50 cents. And so Candy Orton's requesting I say the F-bomb. And so Tim can save more quarters. So do I just say F-bomb or you want me to say fuck?
Ha ha! There you go.
All right. Well, it is about 15 minutes after our hour. So we should probably wrap it up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Shit. Alrighty.
It goes by fast, and Shauna and I typically run through run late on this show is kind of what happens. It'll be like midnight in the East, and it's past midnight in the East. But yeah, and so this is the first time we've had Vanessa on Inside the Upside Down. So this was a treat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Almost got me crying.
Yeah. So again, I really do want to thank everybody who was able to come out, and even those that weren't. Thank you for watching the video of our investigation, which I know was a bit of a struggle because the signal that night was not that good. But then you were checking out and there are so many live videos from everybody on Facebook over that event. So appreciate you guys watching all that and following along with us, and hope we can see more of you next year.
I think we will.
Yeah, yeah, and all those, you know, Haunted Road Media authors and other vendors and speakers that aren't necessarily Haunted Road Media, we thank you as well, because, you know, without you we couldn't have done this at all. And
absolutely.
And Bonnie for all that food. It was amazing.
Meatballs.
Yeah, the meatballs, the sandwiches were good. Did you try she had the cake there.
The cake was
the Haunted Road Media cake, which was fantastic, and there was the chocolate chip cheesecake.
Yep.
Oh my God, that was
and
great.
I got a regular cheesecake.
Yeah. That was great.
She's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yep. She'd already bought the painting from me, but I had to surprise her with something else. And so she's outside of the kitchen. Her and Dwight are there over just kind of where we would walk out to go vape or something like that. And I snuck up around her and I put a necklace on her, and it was the amethyst point with the spider that was kind of wrapped around it with the cord and everything, and was my little surprise for her.
Nice.
She loves it. She messaged me, and she says it really helped, because she had a little bit of trouble with the energy there.
There was a lot of energy throughout there, a lot of different energy. Yeah. So she wasn't alone in that.
Yeah.
Geez, I know Rob Guttrow, he can only handle certain areas. He came in after all his traveling on Friday, and he was having a really bad time of it on Friday. So.
Oh yeah, totally understandable. Anyway, but yeah, my booty's going numb.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get to the shout outs. So need to thank Tom McNicholas and BD Flint for being Super Chat superstars. Thank you guys very much. And Tom, okay, so we have to make note of this. So Tom saying helped carry it in, never tasted it. So there was a benefit of the for the speakers and vendors, the food that Bonnie had put together. I meant to have, and this is a note for next time, I meant to have a snack table for everybody else coming in, and I think we got about as far as putting out some waters and never got that snack table put together. So that'll be definitely for next time. So, all right, let's get to the shout outs. So of course, Donna Gorton, our Cheshire cat, in the house tonight. Greg Grinkin, thank you very much. He attended the event, so it was great to see him out there and meet Greg Grinkin. The Haglin, thanks for joining us tonight. Spooky Dawn, really appreciate it. There's Grizz saying good night. So, Deep Down the Rabbit Hole Patreon patrons, we have Tom McNicholas, Beat 3 Airspace, Grizz, Zippy Davis, BD Flint, Pamela Queen, and Don Francisco. Thank you very much for being Deep Down the Rabbit Hole Patreon patrons, and thank you as well to all of our other Patreon patrons. There's Kathy Ciliento. Thanks for joining us tonight. April M. Wimagwans. Thank you as well. Robert White from Australia. I think Sean was in the house too, right? So thank you, Australians. Or Aussies. Katie Palmer, thank you very much. And there's Spooky. There's Dawn. Let's see. We got Bree Jones is in the house. Betty Lange. Hey, great meeting you over the weekend too. And Wayne as well. You guys were very sweet. Who else do we have? We have Fungi. And Eva Gellert, great meeting you too. Shay Carroll, we'll have to get you out next time.
Yeah.
Shay would be coming all the way from New Hampshire. That's a long haul for her, but she does a lot of help with Beyond the Light Network, and she's always retweeting our stuff and everything. So yeah. Tracy Christian, thanks for joining us again. Andrew Cox, hey, thanks for showing up this weekend too. And there's Candy Orton. Thank you very much, Candy, and we do hope to see you next year. Sean Oldsmith, as I was saying, great to see you. Diane Hilbert, I'll be seeing you in the middle of July out in Rhode Island. Carrie Parrish, hey, hope you're feeling better too, by the way. Let's see, there's Beat 3 Airspace. All right, Samuel Hall. Yes, Samuel keeps trying to get us to go down to Memphis, which we will one of these days. Chipper Terry, thank you very much. Who else do we have? I think I already said the Haglin, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Tim Schoen. Good to see you. And all right, I'm gonna scroll on back down. If I missed anybody, no offense. There are a lot of people in the chat.
Yeah, if you go to Memphis, holler at me because I can meet you there.
Yeah, that's not too far from you. So, and there's Fran Molino. Thanks again, Haunted Road Media. You're so very beautiful people. Wow. Thank you, Fran. So are you. All right. Well, I think that is going to wrap it up for this evening. I had a great time with the Ghost Crier guys earlier, and then just reminiscing here, talking about some sincere paranormal unity that we had this past weekend. It wasn't just a saying. It wasn't just to, have that whole idea like, oh, if we just all. No, this was like legit. This was legit. So.
Absolutely.
All right. So we will see all of you next week, and Friday Night Ghost Frights, of course. Well, Friday Night Ghost Frights coming up on Friday. So Lizzie Borden doing Lizzie Borden Friday Night Ghost Frights. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm working on like a creepy cool beginning for that one. So, all right, that'll do it. You guys have a great night, and thanks again for joining us. Till next time. And that's the wrong screen.